Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Stupendous Wave, and in this video we will be talking about Star Wars Episode 7, the Darth Plagueis theory, and attempting to explain this theory to those of you that don't know about it, and if you do know about it, trying to expand on it slightly, or maybe just hear me talk about it and share my thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started. So the Darth Plagueis theory is that Supreme Leader Snoke, the character that Andy Serkis will be playing in Star Wars The Force Awakens, of course via motion capture, is Darth Plagueis himself, that they are one and the same, the exact same character, and that Darth Plagueis has returned to rule the First Order and potentially the galaxy in Episode 7. So like I said, Andy Serkis is playing a motion capture character, and Darth Plagueis would require motion capture work. He's not humanoid enough. He's definitely humanoid, but he's got expanded features. His arms are long. He's extremely tall. His head is elongated. It would be impossible for them just to do prosthetics, but if they did it motion capture via CGI with a very talented actor and motion capture artist, they could complete this, they could make it work and bring Darth Plagueis back from the dead. So Darth Plagueis has always worked from the shadows. He orchestrated Palpatine's rise to power in the Galactic Republic, where he became Chancellor. Now he was, of course, supposed to be promoted to Co-Chancellor along with Palpatine, but Palpatine believed to have killed him in his sleep. Now Palpatine also states that it's ironic that Plagueis was able to save others from dying and not himself. Now, the theory is that he actually was eventually able to save himself from death, and then once he had come back from the dead, instead of killing Palpatine, he allowed Palpatine to do the work for him. He allowed Palpatine to build up this empire, since that he had obtained immortality basically and was able to live forever. He could just sit back and watch Palpatine grow this empire and essentially do all the work for him, remaining in the shadows and using Palpatine as his puppet still, even without his knowledge, being able to cloud Palpatine's mind into making him think that he is the Lord of the Sith, when in fact another more powerful, more cunning, more intelligent Sith is still lurking in the background, doing exactly what his original plan is, and now just waiting. So after the rise of the Empire and its eventual downfall, Plagueis probably foresaw this to some extent, and he did not want to come out and confront Palpatine and Vader outright, because confronting both of those, he would most likely lose in combat and be forced to go regroup or even be destroyed indefinitely. So he probably still remained in the shadows and maybe sensed the presence of Luke Skywalker and just knew that he would have to bide his time until the eventual prophecy was fulfilled, with Luke, of course, destroying the Emperor, and Darth Vader destroying the Emperor, and then Darth Vader dying of his injuries, basically, being too weak to continue. So Darth Plagueis would sit back, wait for the prophecy to be fulfilled, and then come back and strike when both the rebels and the Empire are at its weakest. The Empire being weak to his advantage because he could go in, kind of manipulate the Moffs as they regrouped and form himself as the new Emperor, essentially, or as a title that he would take, Supreme Leader Snoke. And as the rebels being weak because of their long battles with the Empire, this would be the perfect opportunity for Darth Plagueis to rush in. There only being one Jedi, like I said, both fractions are at their weakest, and he could just take control and promote himself Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, the Knights of Ren remain a big mystery to us at this point. We don't really know a lot about the Knights of Ren, but could it be possible that Darth Plagueis, while he was lurking in the shadows, formed this own group known as the Knights of Ren, and then with him and his rise to power, he brought the Knights of Ren with him, and they kind of took over the First Order, and then eventually Kylo Ren joined the First Order, and he saw great potential in him, possibly him being a Skywalker. That's not confirmed, but he wanted to take him under his wing and train him in the dark side to be his new apprentice. I think that he might have orchestrated the Knights of Ren originally and then brought them with him as he rose to power in what is now the First Order. Another thing that kind of backs up this theory, although the theory might not come true, it's just interesting to talk about, is that there was concept art of something that looks to be similar to Supreme Leader Snoke. Of course, he has Darth Plagueis' breathing apparatus, and it appears that another person is laying down on the ground behind him, and then in the foreground there's someone that looks eerily similar to Rey wielding a blue lightsaber. Now this is another thing. This is really the one thing that sparked this whole topic of is Darth Plagueis in episode 7, this concept art of someone that looks a lot like Darth Plagueis in the background as Rey is wielding a lightsaber, or someone who looks similar to Rey with what I assume to be either one of the Knights of Ren in the background on the ground or Kylo Ren himself, as it doesn't look exactly like Adam Driver. It's definitely it's not spot on Adam Driver, but it's someone that could look similar to him. It's got the black hair, and it's a male. So that's kind of something that has also really sparked this theory, and really the thing that got this theory going. We also see Rey throughout the trailers and all the promotional images that we've seen of her with a staff. Now this staff may be a saber staff. She could have built it on her own. It could just be a regular staff, but it also looks very similar to Darth Plagueis' staff that he wielded, his saber staff. It's not exact, but it's still similar enough to bring up, and possibly Rey might have gotten this from somewhere, or like I said, it could just be a regular staff. But in my opinion, I think that even if it's not Darth Plagueis' staff, I think that she is hiding something special in there, possibly a lightsaber. She could have had some Jedi training, not completed it, but maybe just a little bit, and she may potentially become the hero or heroine of this whole new trilogy. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the Darth Plagueis theory. What do you guys think about it? I hope that I explained it accurately for those of you that were confused about it, and if you guys have more to add on the Darth Plagueis theory, be free to put it in the comments down below. I'm always interested to read what you guys think. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Star Wars, and have a great day.